I recorded the video, so I hope the rain doesn't bother you. Today is June 1st, and today would have actually been Robert Wone's birthday. He would have been turning 49 years old today. However, he passed away in 2006. And for those of you who do not know this story, I will share it with you. I was looking at the story of Robert Wone in 2006. That's when I started to follow it. And I saw a great documentary on Netflix that I can't even repeat, but I'm going to try to get as close to it as I can. They were good friends. They met in college. They both were studying law. Joe Price was several years older than Robert Wone, and they say that Joe was like a mentor to Robert. Their friendship would resume for over a decade. Joe Price was in a same-sex relationship with Victor Zabrowski, and the two men, by this time, had 2 sons with a lesbian couple. Joe was very much into gay rights. He was a smart attorney. He was living his life. And he would also meet Dylan Ward at a gathering where the mother of his children had put together. And that's when Dylan was now in this relationship with Joe. And I don't believe I can call it a throuple, but from the outside looking in, that's exactly what people assumed. And life went on. Joe had even attended Robert's wedding when he married Kathy. And Robert would be murdered 3 months after those nuptials. So again, Joe Price, an openly gay man in a relationship with Victor Zabrowski, and now Dylan Ward. It was not a polyamorous relationship. The 3 men who lived in this house, they were both in relationships with Joe, but not together. So basically, Victor and Dylan were not in any kind of sexual or romantic relationship. So basically, Joe was driving this car, if you will. It was said over and over again that Robert was very heterosexual. He was so hetero that he could spend nights with 3 men that were gay, and that's all that it would be. And he had done this before at another residence that the 3 men had shared. Now noted, there was a woman who lived in this house as well, but she stayed in the basement of the house, and she was not there at the time that this crime occurred. And she was ruled out by the police, so there's really no need to say her name. By this time, this would be the first time that Robert Wone would be spending the night at 1509 Swan Street. His plans were to go to Radio Free Asia, a place where he was working, and it was a mile away from Robert's home. And actually staying with Joe and company, that wasn't Robert's first choice. He asked a female colleague if he could stay there, but it wasn't a good time for him that night, so he would join Robert and friends. Now, Robert and his wife, Kathy, they lived in VA, and it would just be an easier commute if he had stayed with Joe and company that night. So 79 minutes after Robert arrives, there is a 911 call placed, and it's by Victor.
DC Emergency 911 Operator 6752. Do you need police, fire, or ambulance?
Immediately. We may need an ambulance.
What's wrong, ma'am?
We had someone that was in our house, evidently, and they stabbed somebody.
Okay, somebody's inside the house now?
I don't know. We heard.
Are they bleeding? You see someone bleeding?
Someone is bleeding in our house.
Okay, where's they bleeding from?
I think in the stomach.
In the stomach? Is he cautious? Calm down for me. I'm going to send some help, okay? Female or male?
It's a male. He's a friend of ours. He was spending the night with us.
Okay, and who was the person that stabbed him? Do you know? Is he conscious?
We need an ambulance.
Ma'am, listen to me.
He's not conscious.
He's not conscious at all?
No. We need someone right now.
Is he breathing? Listen to me. Calm down. I'm going to help you, okay? Is he breathing?
I'm upstairs, and he's downstairs. I don't know.
Okay, who's downstairs with him?
My partner is downstairs with him right now. He told me to go upstairs and call the police immediately. I just went to the stairs.
Okay, who's the person? Okay, I'm sending paramedics and the police. Okay, who's the person that stabbed him?
I don't know. We think it's somebody with an intruder in the house. We heard the chime at the door.
And it's 15, ma'am, calm down. 1509 Swan Street, Northwest. Am I correct?
Yes, it is.
The person that stabbed him, is he still in the home?
I don't know.
Okay, we got help en route, okay?
Pardon me?
We have help en route.
Thank you. They're here.
They are en route to you now. I'm sending the police and the paramedics, okay, to assist. Okay, what I need you to do is go downstairs, okay? The place wherever he was stabbed at, I need you to get a dry cloth, okay, and just apply pressure to that area. Wherever he was stabbed at on his body, I need you to take a towel downstairs while you're waiting for the paramedics to arrive and just apply pressure. Even if the rag or towel is saturated with blood, just get another towel and put it on top, but never lift the first towel off the area. Hold it on. Once it gets filled up with blood, just put another towel on top of that and just apply pressure until the paramedics arrive.
Pressure until the
yes.
on the leg.
Yeah.
With stab in the heart.
In the heart?
Yes. In the center of his chest.
Okay. Is he breathing?
Is he breathing?
We have help en route now, okay? You don't know who it was?
I have no idea. So don't touch this.
Okay, is he breathing?
He's breathing, but he needs help now.
Okay, we have help en route, ma'am, okay? We do have help en route. Okay, just go down there and try to tell your husband or your the other half to just try to keep him calm and talk to him, okay? Keep him calm and talk to him until someone gets there. Okay. And at the same time, get a dry cloth and just hold it right there in the area.
My partner's holding holding it on him.
Okay, and once it gets saturated with blood, tell him get another one. Go get another towel so you can apply it on top of that one once it gets filled up with blood. Okay, we need you to apply pressure on that area.
He is applying pressure, right?
Okay, just hold it there until the paramedics get there. They should be pulling up any moment if they're already en route to your location. You don't know who did this.
We have no idea who did this.
Is the door open so they can get in?
We don't know how they got in.
Okay, well, I'm asking you now, is the door open so the paramedics can get in once they get here?
What? Sorry. What were you saying?
Is the door open so they can get in? Is the door open so the paramedics can get in the home?
I'm going to go down.
Is this a private home or apartment?
It's a home.
It's a home. It's 1509 Swan Street, Northwest.
The person had one of our knives.
The person that stabbed him ran out the door with a knife?
I think so.
Okay, anybody get any type of description of the person that came in the home?
I have no idea. We have no description. We heard the chime, and we heard the scream from our friend.
Okay.
And so we came running downstairs. We ran in.
So you both was upstairs and your friend was downstairs?
Yes.
You heard the door open and then you heard the scream?
I didn't hear the door open until after the scream, and then we ran down the stairs and we heard we have an alarm, and so the chime went off.
Okay.
Is the ambulance? We really need the ambulance.
Okay, they en route now, ma'am. Go to the door. They should be pulling up any moment. Okay.
I'm afraid to go downstairs.
Okay, the person who's downstairs was the person that was assaulted.
No, we're on the second floor.
Okay, so somebody needs to go downstairs and open the door for the paramedics. You're not sure if that person's still in the home or not.
I have no idea.
Okay, we have paramedics en route, okay?
What time is it?
What time is it at the moment?
Yes.
23:54. It's 11:54, ma'am.
54.
Yes.
I mean,
I'll stay on the line with you. I will stay on the line until somebody gets here, okay? I won't hang up.
we need them right now. I'm not hanging up, but we need help now.
Okay, they en route, ma'am. They are en route. Let me know when you hear the paramedics. Can you look out the window and see if you hear them coming?
I'm looking out the window, and I see nothing. I see nobody.
Okay, it seems like forever, but they are en route, ma'am. They're coming.
Here they are. Here they are.
They're there?
I'm going downstairs.
Okay. I'll stay on the line with you till you open the door for the paramedics, okay?
Help us. We have someone was stabbed. They're on our second floor.
Ma'am?
No, it's really an emergency. I mean, maybe. Please hurry.
Ma'am, it's going to be okay.
When paramedics arrived, they would state that whoever opened the door did not make any eye contact. He would just point up the stairs, barely giving any directions on where the paramedics should even go. Joe Price had actually told investigators that Robert was found stabbed at the patio door, but they would move his body back to the guest room. There was no yelling, no screaming, no crying. It was very unusually calm and quiet, unlike the 911 call just minutes earlier. All three men were in white terry cloth robes, freshly showered, and their hair was still damp. The house was clean, spotless, pristine is the word that was used. As the paramedics walked up the stairs, Dylan would enter in a room and close the door. Robert was in the guest room. The paramedic would make his way inside the room. Robert, on the bed, looked as if he was asleep, but there wasn't a pulse, no heart rate. The 32-year-old man was dead. He'd been stabbed 3 times. It also appeared that he had bled out, but the small amount in the bed, it was as if he had been attacked somewhere else. He laid on fresh white sheets. The only indentation on the sheets was where Robert's body was, as if he was placed there, as if he hadn't even moved. It looked like Robert had showered also, but had been redressed and placed in that bed. The knife that was used to kill Robert was placed on the nightstand by the bed, and you could still see that there was blood on it. Joe told the paramedic that he had taken the knife out of Robert and placed it on the nightstand. The police who had arrived with the paramedics noted that there was laundry being done, towels and bed sheets. Laundry was in full motion. So, a man is dead, your friend. Less than 2 hours after his arrival, the 3 men that were in the residence with him are freshly showered, and there's clothes on a spin cycle. The police would ask several questions, and it was noted that no one was mainly speaking but Joe. And he always referred to everything as we, us, collectively, all three men. He would speak for the others. When the officer asked the other men questions, they would look at Joe almost for approval, and when they spoke, Joe would give them a look like they've said enough. Police believe that Robert was restrained, incapacitated, and sexually assaulted before his death. The police would then call for all three men to be questioned separately, and they did all willingly give their DNA. An investigation was open. Who killed Robert Wone? In the beginning of this tragic case, the three men had went to speak with Kathy. Whatever they told her, she believed them. Was she still in shock? She hadn't even started her grieving process. Her husband of 3 months was murdered by an intruder who had absolutely taken nothing. An intruder who walked through an unlocked back door after jumping a 7-foot fence, past a kitchen and the living room with tons of appliances and electronics worth of money, while carrying a knife that he found from within the household. And then he would pass several rooms, past Dylan's room, but he would go straight to the guest room where Robert was sleeping, and no one hears screaming, and there are smears of blood on the bed, and the room looks undisturbed. Robert's watch and wallet is still in the room. His clothes are folded neatly. So this intruder has stolen nothing but a life. The three men attended the funeral of Robert Wone, while his good old friend Joe Price serving as pallbearer. 2 months later, Joe Price's drug-addicted brother had actually robbed the home, and a robbery report was issued by Joe Price. $7,000 of electronics was stolen out the home. Michael Price and his accomplice, Phelps Collins, was the one who had robbed the home. However, Joe Price would later drop the charges, and around the time that this murder occurred with Robert Wone, Michael Price and his accomplice, Phelps Collins, they both had airtight alibis, so they were not suspects in the murder. Were the police homophobic? Because some would say that they were. Some would say that 3 adult men living together, and to find out that one was a dominatrix master, and it seemed that Joe Price was a submissive. When the search warrant was issued, they would find copious amounts of sex toys, even certain type of pills used for sexual pleasure was in Dylan's room. And it was a field day inside there. The autopsy report had came back, and there was semen inside Robert's anus and under his genitals. So finally, we were going to find out who killed Robert. There was also several puncture wounds all throughout his body. However, there were no drugs that they could find that was in his system. And unfortunately, when the DNA testing came back, the semen that was found in Robert Wone's anus and under his genitals was his own. 2 years had passed, and Joe Price bought a home in Florida that Dylan Ward would move in. And the other two, Joe and Victor, they sold that condo and they moved to Washington, D.C. Now, by 2008, All 3 men were arrested on obstruction of justice. So someone was finally going to be arrested for the death of Robert Wone. There wasn't going to be a jury of your peers. This was going to be under one judge, Judge Lynn Leibovitz. And she only had one job. And her job was to prove that the 3 men had tampered with this case. Just tampered with it. That's all she had to prove, that they were a part of obstructing the justice. Not waiting 45 minutes to place a call after your good friend's death. Not showering and washing your hair and throwing the clothes that you had on prior into a washing machine. Not removing a body, cleaning it, redressing it, and placing it back in a bed. Not switching out knives. Not unlocking a door and planting a crime scene. None of that. She just had to prove that there was obstruction of justice. No reasons of why. Just had to prove it. And she would find all 3 men not guilty. Kathy Wone sued a wrongful death suit of $20 million, and she received an undisclosed settlement. This case really, really stuck with me, and I'm sure so many others. There's many variations of this case where people add a little bit more of the information, but it's all real, it's all true. This actually happened. Why these 3 men were not found guilty of tampering with evidence when they clearly did, I will never understand why. Was Judge Leibovitz, was she paid? Was she, in fact, part of the LGBT community? And I'm not taking a dig at the community, but this is outrageous. It's right there in your face, and you see nothing. This man is dead from going to spend a night at a friend's house, and he died in the most bizarre manner. And she felt like there was no tampering of evidence. The lawyer for Wone's defense, they felt now, they wish that they had went by a jury by peers, but it's too late. They can't redo this crime. Isn't that called double jeopardy, I believe? So 2 of the men changed their last names to something else, but they still look the same. And I'm pretty sure that they all are still really good friends, thick as thieves, and they know exactly what happened to Robert Wone. I mean, we know that they all had a part and they all had a hand in what happened to this man, but they know completely what happened, and they're all going to stick together until every last one of them dies, right? Maybe.